moving around their vast stockpile of weapons. No surprise, they've had plenty of time to do it. General Jack Keane, retired four-star Army general and Fox News military analyst. General, welcome. Always good to have you with us.
Glad to be here, Martha.
So obviously, they've had a lot of time, as I said, and it appears that at a time when you might expect Assad to be corralling those chemical weapons, because he says he's going to perhaps turn them over, they're doing the exact opposite.
Well, that should be no surprise to anybody. The fact of the matter is Assad is not going to give up all his chemical weapons, and he's not going to give up all of his manufacturing capability, because the possession of those chemical weapons guarantee the preservation of the regime. So it's quite a facade that he's going to give up all of those weapons. The Russians know this. Assad certainly is very much aware of it, and I think we realistically understand this as well, despite the fact that we're in negotiations to achieve that end. That end is never going to be achieved.
Yeah, I mean, what you are saying seems so clear. They're in the process of moving these things to safer ground. It's sort of a wink and a nudge, it appears, from Putin. You know, look, let's just say this is what you're going to do, and then you and I will continue our military relationship. And, you know, Russia's going to continue, I would imagine, to supply Assad with whatever weapons they agree to, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The fact of the matter is 70% of all the support in terms of weapons and supplies come from Russia. Russia and Iran helped to turn the tide of the momentum of the war that was initially in favor of the rebels to the Assad regime. And what's going to take place now, the fact of the matter is, despite our rhetoric to the contrary, the attack is truly off the table, and Assad is going to continue to bomb, use artillery and rockets, air power against the rebels, as he has done through the entire crisis that unfolded in the United States. Every single day he was doing just that.
What do you expect, you know, over the next several weeks? Because it looks like the moderate opposition is sort of wedged in between these al-Qaeda groups and the Assad regime right now. They've got very little air to breathe, it would appear. And I talked to Colonel Oliver North about this yesterday. He still believes that it's possible to, you know, give them weapons, which the CIA now says they're going to do. You know, is there any hope for that moderate opposition and tipping the balance away from Assad?
Yeah, there is, Martha. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's outrageous that they asked for help 2+ years ago, and we really never gave them any help of any consequence. But here, right in front of us, the CIA has vetted moderate opposition forces, and they made that recommendation to arm them last summer, and Secretary Clinton agreed with it, but the White House rejected it. What we need to do now is provide them significant weapons that they need, a steady stream of them, anti-tank, and I say yes, anti-aircraft weapons. The Saudis have been giving the same moderate group some weapons for 8 months, and none of those weapons have found themselves in the hands of the jihadist elements, which is people's concern. The second thing that should happen, they need a major training assistance program. Martha, we're doing some of this on a very small scale in Jordan, led by the Central Intelligence Agency. We need to get the United States military involved in Jordan and increase the throughput rather dramatically, so we can increase the quality of the fighting that the moderate groups are undertaking. Yes, there is still much that we can do, but we have no policy, Martha. We have no comprehensive policy to help the opposition forces politically, economically, or even militarily in a substantive way.
Do you think that the administration wants to just wash its hands of this situation right now and not look back?
Well, the fact of the matter is, it's part of their strategy to disengage from the Middle East in the hope that we would never have to fight another war there. And obviously, as you spoke to an earlier guest, the vacuum is being filled by the Iranians and now, surprisingly so, the Russians. The fact of the matter is, the lack of a coherent policy in Syria, in Iraq, in Libya, the rise of radical Islam is bringing all of these challenges to the doorstep of an American president. These problems are not going to go away.
Sooner or later, they will have to be dealt with in one way or another, it would appear, and we'll see what that way is. General, thank you, as always. Good to talk to you.
Good talking to you, Martha.